Hello and welcome to another segment of DSU Inside Perspective. I'm Carlos Holmes, and this is the show where we talk with faculty, staff, students, alumni, and guests about some of the things that are going on in the world or some of the great things that are going on at Delaware State University. Today I have Indira Ridgeway, a sophomore political science major here. Hello, Indira. How you doing there?
I'm well, and you?
Good. Indira recently was awarded the President's Volunteer Service Award. As much as we love Dr. Harry Williams, our president, it did not come from him, but this was a White House award. You got the award in connection with your activities relating to human trafficking.
Yes.
How did you get involved in that type of thing?
Well, human trafficking, my awareness for human trafficking all began when I was a sophomore in high school. And that was the first time I've ever seen the movie Taken. So that was my first real experience, being able to see what the issue was. After that, I went on to do human trafficking for a National History Day project, which I went to the state level competition, but I didn't go on, which is fine. So with all of my achievements of going to the state level, I was recognized on the Pennsylvania House of Representatives floor for it. And that's when I met Representative Kevin Boyle, who was interested and wanted to find out more about human trafficking, and that's what sparked the conversation.
Wow. So when you say you did things in connection with this crime, there's no other thing to call it but a crime, what did you do? Did you actually work with victims? Did you advocate? Did you educate? What did you do?
Well, actually, I did all of the above, what you just said.
Okay.
I am currently an advocate for human trafficking. I was able to work with a victim, and I was able to meet a victim who was a victim of the sex trafficking portion for human trafficking, which I thought was really interesting. And I also would like to begin hosting campus programs so that more college students are more aware about what human trafficking is and how to see the signs and how to avoid or help someone who they see that can be in trouble.
What is human trafficking?
Human trafficking to me is the equivalency of modern day slavery. It can stem all the way from forced labor to child labor, all the way to trafficking, which is the most common type of human trafficking today.
Wow. I want to read a few statistics here. According to some little research I did, there are approximately 20 to 30 million slaves in the world today. Talking about human trafficking, it says that between 14,500 and 17,500 people are trafficked into the U.S. each year. It says human trafficking is the third largest international crime industry behind illegal drugs and arms trafficking. It is the third largest international crime industry. It reportedly generates a profit of $32 billion every year. Of that number, it says 15.5 billion is made in industrialized countries. Now, this United States is one of those industrialized countries. We have a lot of international folks that get caught up in their slavery, there's no other word for it, and they somehow are brought into this country and they're made to work in this country. But my question is, are there people that are born and bred in the United States that get caught up in this too?
That's a good question. I definitely believe that there are people who are United States citizens that are caught up in human trafficking. I mean, in today's society, anything is possible, which is kind of scary to say, but that is actually the reality of the world that we live in today. So, for example, it could be just as simple as, for example, say Sally goes to Jennifer's house, and Jennifer is the new student at school, and Sally's mom's like, it's fine for you to go spend the night, it's fine, whatever. And then Sally never comes home. Next thing you know, Jennifer's gone, all her belongings are gone, her family is packed up and gone. So anything is possible, honestly.
What are some of the ways in which, I guess you almost have to be pretty vulnerable to get caught up into this kind of thing. How do people get caught up where one day they are a free person and then the next day they're essentially a slave. They're being forced to do things that they want to do, that they don't want to do, and they can't get out of it easily. How does this happen?
Well, I know from the victim who I was able to meet and interview, she is actually not from this country. She's from Latin America. She's from Venezuela. And overseas, she has a restaurant that that was about to get shut down because she could not afford to keep up with the bills. Now, her traffickers came to her and told her, hey, you know, if you come to the United States and work, we'll pay all your debt, we'll help your children get through school. So basically, coming to a country that is seen as, you know, the home of the free, the golden American dream, from a country that can be so poor, it's kind of, as soon as someone brings an opportunity to you, you take it and run with it. So that's how she was conned into being trafficked. Now, in her journey over here, she explained to me that it wasn't like a regular, like you get on a plane, you get on a bus, or get in a car and you're driven somewhere. She was transported in freight trucks, like cattle. Like, her and a bunch of other people were pushed and crammed into these big trucks like they were animals.
Like back in the day when we were shoved on a boat. Black folks were shoved on a boat.
Correct.
And sent across the sea. Okay.
Correct. So I think the main issue is these traffickers are presenting people with false promises, but because people are coming from countries that may not be as privileged as the United States, they're taking the dream and running with it, but they're not realizing that not everyone is presenting a true dream to them.
This was something you began when you were in high school. You're from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You started in high school there. What was the name of your high school?
SciTech High School.
Okay. You're at Dell State now, but you're continuing your work in this area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How are you doing that?
Well, like I said, hopefully soon I'll be able to begin hosting programs on human trafficking. I know that I have a lot of the students who I speak to. Sometimes they try to get ideas about like what are like really big issues going on in the world besides what we see on CNN and like some of the big issues. Cause like I told them about like blood diamonds and about human trafficking. And they were kind of like, human trafficking, like, what's that? And I was like, have you ever seen the movie Taken? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, that's human trafficking. And they were like, oh, wow, that's really interesting.
Wow. Real quick, what is your aspirations upon graduation?
Upon graduation, I'm immediately going to law school.
Okay, so you want to be an attorney?
Yes.
Okay, you want to kind of continue to
Yes,
deal
prosecutor.
with this? Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for being on our show, and thank you so much for educating us on this issue of human trafficking. And thank you for joining us for another segment of DSU Inside Perspective. Everybody have a good day.